Hello and welcome back to Red Gaming Tech. My name is Amata. Today is the 24th of October, and this time I'm bringing you yet more news on the PS4, or more specifically the Dualshock 4 controller, as during a recent interview with VentureBeat, Toshimasa Aoki, who is the company's manager of product planning, has spoken on some of the design decisions of the controller, as apparently the Dualshock 4 has digital face buttons rather than pressure-sensitive analog ones, which have been found on previous PlayStation pads. Now, just to clarify, pressure-sensitive buttons allow designers to assign multiple functions on a button based on the pressure applied by the player, or change on-screen behaviour depending on how strongly the button is pressed. A good example of this is probably, say, Resident Evil 4, where you can either slowly open a door or kick it open depending on the button press. Now, Sony did introduce pressure-sensitive buttons with the PS2's DualShock 2 controller, but Toshimasa, in this interview, did suggest that the developers hadn't used them this time around. And he said, quote, "With the DualShock 3, we were able to get analog data which games didn't really use. For DualShock 4, we deleted that, and now it's all digital. The mechanism inside is a little different, and the data that games get is different." So there you have it. It seems the control method for the PS4 DualShock 4 controller has been streamlined somewhat. Now, this may lead to problems, it may not, but looking at some feedback regarding this particular piece of news, a lot of people seem to be relieved, that this particular feature has been removed from the new DualShock 4 controller. And while it did have some nice uses, as I previously mentioned, Resident Evil 4, with the being able to slowly open or kick open doors, and of course it was in Resident Evil from that point, in Resident Evil 5 and 6 you could do this as well. Of course, if you had the console versions of those games, or were using a pad for your PC. And they were nice to have, don't get me wrong, but you could always just have a different button combination or something like that, just because this particular method of having that is now gone for the next generation controller for the PS4. Doesn't mean that there won't be some other way around it if a developer wants to give you the option of slowly opening a door, if of course it's, say, a horror game or something like that. Now, of course, Soma, which is the Frictional Guys' next game, which is of course confirmed for both PC and PS4, is a first-person horror, so they might want to make use of that technology if it were there. So it'd be interesting to see how they deal with it, because I'm sure on the PC they're going to have their famous click-drag physics engine where you can open doors manually yourself, pick up items and so forth. And it could just be done completely with the sticks, as in you press X, for example, to hold the door and then you use the stick to open it, and you can either just throw it open or not. So I'd be curious to see how that actually works with the removal of the pressure sensitive technology. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.